parking in their local branch, where's that going to go?
But there are alternatives.
Hi there, how can I help?
Ethical and community-focused institutions are stepping in to bridge the gap.
Hey, you're all right?
You're right, babe.
I don't think I would be able to get a loan anywhere else.
Organisations like credit unions, not-for-profit cooperatives that offer ways of handling your finances
Fantastic. So we just get your account all set up.
and tackling debt without the downsides of high interest and penalties. London has over 30 credit unions. South of the Thames, the Lewisham Plus Bromley Credit Union provides a financial lifeline for more than 9,000 members.
There we go.
Cheers, thank you very much. Yeah? That's it?
Customers regularly queue up to get help managing their money.
How can I help you today?
We have about £5.5 million saved up and about 3.8 million loans.
See you soon. Take care, bye-bye.
You know, we have about 20 members of staff, about half a dozen volunteers.
20, 40, 60, 80.
On a daily basis, we are kind of making a difference to somebody.
But staff can find themselves giving more than just financial advice.
Let's go.
Today, Chief Executive Ravi is on his way to pick up a member with mobility issues.
She called and wanted to apply for a loan, and I said, you know, why don't I pick you up?
For Ravi, going the extra mile is all part of the credit union service.
We have a range of members with various needs, and she's been a very long-standing member, so we try to help when we can. I think all of us do. All members of staff, the directors, the volunteers, we all do. And I'm sure across the country, all credit union staff, they do the same sort of things. Hi, Helen.
Hi. Hello. Thank you very much, John.
Excellent.
Helen, a 9-year-long member, wants to borrow £800 to replace household goods.
You said your microwave is broken.
Broken, yeah.
Did you put some metal in it or something?
No, I didn't. I don't know. I was just getting old.
All right. How long you held it?
A couple of years. If I get the loan, do I have to go back and sign? Because, you know, I have mobility problems.
Yeah, now what we'll do, Helen, is we'll organise a signing at your home, if you like.
Yeah.
Helen is very appreciative of the lengths the credit union staff go to enable her to use their service.
They've been very nice all these years. Very accommodating, and they treat us, all members, in a very humane way, and try to be flexible. But they've always helped me when I wanted, always, because I'm just homebound. Sometimes I go months without going out.
As chief executive of the credit union, Ravi knows the importance of building and maintaining a relationship with its members.
We know our customers better than most of the financial institutions, I would say. And we know their particular needs, and I think we are more of a caring organisation compared to other profit-oriented organisations. So, we go that extra mile to help people wherever we can.
Well, that's really sweet of you all to bring me here. Oh, this is a low chair. I need help to get up.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, I'm comfortable. It's a problem with getting up. Put this up here.
Can you fill in the form, Helen, and then I'll take any paperwork I need after.
Okay, date of birth, 1940, not 14.
Yeah, sign it there, my darling.
Yeah.
OK, Helen, so this is all completed now.
Thank you very much.
Someone will contact you tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then we'll take it from there.
Really, I'm very grateful.
No problem.
Helen already has an existing loan, so Senior Credit Control Officer Maria needs to check her finances to ensure that she can afford to repay the extra £800.
Yes, it would be wonderful if they approve. I'm sure they would be very helpful, but they always have been.
She's an excellent member, good payer. She's one of those people who borrows quite regularly and pays it back promptly.
No, bend it.
We'll be looking at her situation and see how much they can possibly borrow without really impacting her too much, and we'll be lending her that amount of money.
Helen will have to wait 24 hours to find out if her loan application has been successful. As well as credit unions, there are other ethical lenders who are helping people change their lives and start their own business. People like Awa and her friend Danny.
This is the onions for the meatball sauce. So it's got lamb meat, macaroni, potatoes, sweet potatoes.
Well, that's under control.
Awa runs a mobile catering business in West Yorkshire, cooking traditional Gambian dishes.
My mum said if you put love into your cooking, you can't go wrong because you're doing it from the heart. I'm actually cooking the benachin. Now, benachin in Wolof means one pot, so that means everything goes into one pot. I put my heart and soul into it, and you just have that feeling, you just know when it's right. Coming on good.
Awa was born in Gambia, West Africa, and came to the UK as a 5-year-old in 1975.
Just letting it simmer down to soften.
Sharing her culture through her cooking is a dream come true for this former customer services advisor.
I always used to take food, and my manager, she always used to say to me, look, your food is so good, you're in the wrong business. You need to go and set up your own business, so that's how it really started.
Today, Awa's visiting her former colleagues, including the woman who inspired her to start her business.
And this is Rifat, my manager. Ex-manager. Ex-manager. Oh, she said ex. No, you're still my manager. I know. She's been really good to me. She's given me a lot of support.
But food was delicious. Everybody wanted it. So it was a case who got there first. And because we were so busy, I always said, make sure you save mine. And she'd always have some special for me before everybody took the rest of it.
How's the food now?
Bland, plain, missing the Gambian zest.
Saturdays, we had no canteen staff. And Awa would bring her food in to reheat at lunchtime. Everyone loved a Saturday. Used to check the rota and see if she were honest. It's really sad to have seen you leave, but
Okay.
so pleased to see you now. Look at you.
Awa left her job and joined forces with her friend Danny to turn her love of cooking Gambian food into a business.
It's just something way different from usual English type of food. It's real tasty, I love it.
For me, it was always the way forward, but how to get there was the problem. Hi. My manager, she used to own a restaurant, and she would tell me a lot of things of the do's and don'ts. She said to me, don't do a restaurant because your customers have to come to you. But if you've got a van and you're mobile, you can go to them and you can go anywhere. The cheapest I saw online was like 7,000. Yes, we did have some money in savings, but we couldn't afford the van and the equipment and stock and everything that went with it.
Awa's manager once more came to her aid, pointing her in the direction of a government website that had information on starting up your own business.
We didn't try the banks, we just thought we wouldn't get it. But we were just scared being a first-time business, we hadn't got a setup, we didn't have anything. Who would give us money?
On the website, she found Transmit Startup, a government-backed scheme that provides startup loans across the country and helps mentor new businesses. Jill Stewart was Awa's and Danny's advisor.
They came to us looking for a loan of £5,000.
Are you paying it?
Yeah, we're paying £5.
I think because they hadn't yet started to trade, it can be quite a risky investment, especially within the food industry.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So where Transmit Startups are a bit different from the high street lender is we don't look at it from only the risk aspect. We look at getting to know the applicant, getting to know their business, and really investing our money where we think it's going to be best used.
Your Scotch bonnets are there.
She's got family recipes that she's using within the business, which you just can't get anywhere else. So she's got that unique selling point straight away. And with her being so passionate, you can tell, from her approachable attitude, this kind of business lends itself well to her character, which all comes into play when we're looking at who we're going to be investing in.
I don't know if you want a sprinkle of this Maggi sauce.
They just said to us, if you have an idea, we'll help you with your business plan, we'll help you, and we'll help you every step of the way, which they did.
Arwa was given the £5,000 she needed to buy the van and the stock.
When I got a text, she said, "Oh, your loan's been approved." I just couldn't believe it.
They could finally get on the road, bringing a taste of Gambia to Yorkshire and beyond.
Honestly, I don't think we could have done this business without the van. And also, it allows us to go to different places, like all these food and drink festivals that we go to.
Within a month of getting the loan, Arwa and Danny were busy travelling up and down Yorkshire, introducing Brits to Gambian food.
Did you like your snack box the other day?
Their latest venture is a 2-week-long kitchen takeover at a local restaurant. And Arwa and Danny are in the middle of a busy lunchtime service.
There was a lot of flavour going on. The lamb was really tender. Yeah, it was very nice.
It's not every day you see Gambian food being cooked, so but why not give it a try while it's here, yeah?
It's really nice.
Yeah, we cook it all with the spices all in the same pot. Yeah, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And so different from what we would have over here.
Yes, it is.
Gorgeous.
Jill is here to see what the loan has helped achieve.
Got a few festivals booked in.
It's exciting, so it's all on the up, everything going really, really well.
Yes, really well, yes. And thank you to you guys as well.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Because we couldn't have done it without you.
You're very welcome.
Without that money, yes.
We were just the money, you were the brains.
While she's here, Jill is keen to get a taste of the star dish.
I feel like a kid at Christmas. Anticipation.
Let's hope I don't disappoint. Here's the verdict. Good.
That is really nice. I can see why it sold out the first time. I really can. The food is absolutely amazing. It's delicious. I can't actually tell you. I think for this business, the future holds a lot of opportunities. Wherever they want to go, I'm sure they will.
So here we are now, serving people, making everyone happy.
With the help of the loan company, Arwa and Danny are well on their way to making a long-term success of the business.
The future is to keep going on and hopefully get another van. We're turning down some festivals just because it's just one van. So the future is to teach Danny to cook Gambian food. Did you know what? I think we just complement each other. Stuff I can't do, he can do.
Driving.
Sous chef.
Sous chef, chopping onions.
It's like I've brought Gambia to Yorkshire, and I think I have come a long way.
Still to come. Back to school, a mum of 3 needs the credit union's help to kit out her kids.
It's just a nightmare. Oh my God, the blazer's like 40, the skirt's like 25.
There's no help for that?
No, they don't do the grants no more, they don't do nothing.
And a wood craftsman refuses to be stumped by the banks.
It was disappointing and disheartening, but it also made me see that I had to work a lot harder to achieve what I wanted.
With UK household debt at a record high, it's no surprise to learn that over 4 million of us are in serious financial difficulty.
I'm in debt to my credit cards.
I had about, say, pushing to being £15,000 to £20,000 worth of debt.
I owe about £3,000.
It's a burden that can quickly spiral out of control, leading to unwelcome visits from debt collectors and bailiffs. For divorced mum of 2, Lee, from Crawley, mounting debt caused her to become a prisoner in her own home.
Bailiffs just turn up. I've had them at 11:15 at night at the door. I've had them at 5:15 in the morning. They try every trick in the book, and it's a very scary place to be.
Lee's money worries stemmed from losing her mum to cancer 7 years ago, leaving her alone to care for her autistic son, Dean.
It's hard, and it is hard on your own when you've not got support. Because my mum was my support. But after my mum passed away, it was all down to me. This is my mum just before she got ill, which is quite hard to look at now, really. I don't look at it very often.
Lee was already financially stretched from caring for her mum throughout her illness.
The hospital, the cancer care, is in Guildford, which is 40 miles away. So it's an 80-mile round trip every day. It was like £30 every time I went on the train, and that money had to come from somewhere. I had to come out my rent. No other way around it. Anyway, she died in the September. Devastated, beyond absolutely devastated. It changed me as a person. It changed me.
When her mum sadly died, Lee was heartbroken and embarked on a 5-year spending spree.
I was trying to fill an emotional hole, and I was trying to fill it with material things. My heart was broke, so it was just luxuries. And just to try and bring some happiness back into this house. And then, you know, I got into gambling, just going, you know, into the betting shops. Obviously, like gamblers do, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I started like with the online as well.
Unable to work because of having to care for her son, a desperate Lee resorted to paying off her spiralling debts with high-interest payday loans.
You don't actually think, when you go and people say, oh, the APR, you don't think of that, you just want money. And if someone said you're paying 3 times back, you probably pay it. If somebody gives you £5 cash in your hand, you don't think of that till after.
But it wasn't long before Lee fell behind with her repayments.
I was in about £17,000 worth of debt. I got debt letters all the time, you know, that they're going to visit you. I couldn't deal with it on my own because I didn't know how to. I knew something had to change, but it's so much easier to bury your head.
And then one day, the nightmare started.
There was always people banging on the door. Some were just debt collectors, some were bailiffs. I mean, you've got to be careful with bailiffs. You just stand here and you think, I know they're about because I see their car. There was no laughing matter at the time. Definitely not. When someone's knocking that hard on your door, I mean, this is every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, and they're knocking so loud that they just put the fear of God into you. In the beginning, I just ignored them. You got to know their times, that they come, but then you get to a point, I couldn't go out in the garden. Even if I went to the shop, there's that rest, they'd see me, and then they would chase you, then they'd hound you. They just hound you all the time. My curtains were closed, I just used to go to bed. It's just no life. It's no life at all. I was a prisoner in my own home.
Lee reached a turning point when a friend put her in contact with Christians Against Poverty, a charity offering debt counselling to people in financial difficulty. Lee rang one of their advisors.
Thank you. So I just need to take a few details.
She wanted to know about me as a person. What's going on in your life? What's brought you to ring Christians Against Poverty? They wanted to know more about me, and I thought, how strange. Very comforting voice. Compared to what I was used to, we know you're in, and all this. It was like she was interested. And I thought, and I just felt this release. I thought, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay.
Lovely, that's no problem at all.
To put a stop to the doorstep harassment, CAP contacted Lee's creditors. They then reviewed her income and expenditure.
I'm just going to take a few details, if I may now, about what types of debt you've got.
And because her role as a carer for her son meant she was unable to work, the charity advised her to file for a debt relief order.
What they do is just amazing. By December 17, I was totally debt-free. I couldn't believe it, because I'd just been in debt so long, I was so used to it. This is the thing with CAP, someone's got your back, it's a big thing. So now, I'm just a different person. I live on a budget now, I have to. Because once you've been through something like that, I think, I can't go back.
Lee now works as a volunteer for the group.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Helping to advise others facing debt worries.
Most content I've been in my 48 years, where I am now. It's the best thing ever. Best thing ever.
She now is a crucial part of our CAP centre, so she comes along on visits as a befriender. She's fantastic in that role because she has been in the situation of our clients, and so now being able to walk through and empathise with where they're at is such a big part.
Thanks to the help of Christians Against Poverty, Lee can now look forward to a debt-free future.
With the right people behind you, you can do it. Don't think you're stuck in it, because you're not.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you. Yeah.
Just got to reach out. And I never thought I'd say that.
Really lucky, I think.
There's always a cat in that window.
In 2017, Britain's borrowed a total of £803 million from credit unions. People like retired council worker Georgina. Her modest ethical loan proved to be life-changing, putting her on a path that she never thought possible.
I'm an old age pensioner, but I don't like using the word old, but I am a grandmother and a great-grandmother. Yeah, I'm very proud of my children. I'm sure they're proud of me.
But Georgina is not your average gran.
I was the first lady rent collector out on the beat, on the road, for Cardiff City Council, and that was in about 1981. Then, after about 3 years on the knocker, the rent collector, I was promoted to a special projects officer. And then I went to work in probation, and then from probation I went into education. After retiring, I spent my time thinking, what can I do now? I'm bored. I'm only 61. Just being a grandmother and tottering to the shops wasn't for me. I'm a much more fit and active person, much more gregarious and fun-loving.
Georgina found the answer to her dilemma in an unlikely lifelong passion.
Hello, hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, testing, testing. I've always been a DJ in my heart. Music's in my blood, and I'd done voluntary work at Radio Cardiff for about 11 years before I actually retired. Here we go, here we go. I used to do the breakfast show from 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock each weekday. And I became known as the Gangster Gran. And then I became known as the Notorious Triple G because of the kind of music I used to play. All the way from Barry Bados. I love hip-hop and reggae and soul and Motown. Music is in my heart and soul. This is a track called Something in the Air.
With time to fill, Georgina decided to do more voluntary work in the community by taking her DJ act out on the road.
It seemed an obvious choice to become a DJ full-time, so my listeners had heard me on the radio, and now it was the time for them to actually meet me in person. I have got quite a following in the reggae, soul and Motown groove throughout the city of Cardiff. Barry Bados, eat your heart out.
But with no DJ equipment of her own, her plans were just a pipe dream.
My pension wasn't enough to purchase the equipment, you know, and I wanted it now, kind of thing. So I knew I needed about £300 to buy the equipment I wanted.
Hi, Georgina, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Are you here for your meeting?
With no savings to cover the expense, Georgina turned to her local credit union.
I've been involved with Cardiff and the Val Credit Union for many years. I can't actually tell you how long I've been a member. I think it was right back when I was working for the local government.
First established as a credit union for local council staff in 1996, Georgina was so impressed with the service, she never looked back.
So it always seemed more cost-effective to me to use the credit union rather than a bank, because there's not a lot of administration charges and fees that you're not going to expect.
Loans officer Tanya Moore helped Georgina with her application.
Georgina's the first DJ I've come across, and she's pretty notorious within the credit union. So we have your statements here. We've helped Georgina with 7 loans so far, holiday loans, Christmas loans, and one of her recent loans was for DJ equipment. And this has enabled her to start up a little business and help the community out at events with all her DJ expertise.
It's been a beautiful day.
Lovely day.
A long-standing member, Georgina's loan was quickly approved.
Here we go, here we go.
And her retirement transformed.
Being a DJ keeps me young. It makes me happy. The music keeps me fit in many ways because I tend to dance and sing along. When I'm out on the road, you might hear me drop the odd lyric, a little bit of a rapper. See those girls go! I don't think there's many other female DJs of my age in Wales. In fact, I don't know of many in Britain. Here we go, more. Hopefully, my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and my own children are happy with me. But sometimes I've probably made them cringe. Dropping it low. But all of them come to my gigs and watch me and enjoy it. And even my daughter, who's followed in my footsteps, and she's a DJ as well.
I'm very proud, and it's so unconventional, like a gangster grandma, 72. She's got more energy than me, and I just think she's quite wonderful.
I'm very proud to be a successful DJ. I think I'm successful. I'm not on the headline act at the Millennium Stadium, but I might be in a local pub.
Georgina's loan may have been small, but it's had a huge impact.
Since I had my loan, I've really enjoyed my life. I found it much more fulfilling. If I didn't get the loan from the credit union, I would have been stuck, really. I wouldn't have been able to fulfil some of my personal dreams. I enjoy spreading the word and the music to the community. Magic! As long as I have got my decks and fitness, and I can carry my equipment up and down stairs, I shall be a DJ because it is in my bones. I can't help it. I love it. And seeing smiley faces and hearing applause is addictive. Well done, lads. It's given me a joy, a pleasure in old age, and I can't see me stopping until I drop.
Credit union membership in Great Britain has more than doubled in the last decade. Now standing at over 1.2 million, more and more people are realising that it offers a real alternative to traditional banks and building societies.
All right. Thank you, miss.
In South London, the Lewisham Plus Credit Union works hard to meet local demand.
Oh, bless. All right, you take care. Bye-bye.
One happy customer.
Our members tend to be kind of two diverse group of people. Some who are able to save quite regularly, some who kind of live from hand to mouth, members who kind of come into us every 3 months to kind of top up their loan or borrow more money. So we kind of are a lifeline for them, to support them.
One member coming through the door today is mother of 3, Rihanna. She does all her banking with the credit union.
They're actually like really good. They're welcoming, the people that work here. Yeah, and they're like friends, like you can talk to. They ask you how you are. So yeah, that's why I choose it.
Okay, thanks. Maybe you might see me tomorrow again. Okay, yeah. Bye-bye.
I've been here years, so I wouldn't change because they're really good. Like with the loans, because the interest that you're paying is really low.
Rihanna needs a loan of almost £600 to buy school uniform for her children.
Yes.
According to a recent survey, school uniform costs cause financial hardship to 1 in 6 UK families.
So have you got to get 3 different sets of uniforms?
Yeah, so it's the secondary. They're so expensive. It's just a nightmare. Oh my God, the blazer's like 40. The skirt's like 25.
There's no help for that?
No, they don't do the grants no more. They don't do nothing.
If they don't come to us, the alternative is to go to a loan shark and then end up paying quite a lot of money as in interest, or could be a high street or online lender who might charge them phenomenal interest rates. Once you're in their net, if you like, it's very difficult to escape.
So what happens now is it will go for processing, and then a underwriter will then likely look at it for you, depending on what the issues are with credit and things like that.
Yeah.
And then someone will get back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
You're helping people. It's not often you can go home and say, you know, God, I've done a good job.
Thank you.
So,
on a daily basis, we are kind of making a difference to somebody.
4 days later, Rihanna was approved for her loan. and was able to buy her children their new school uniform in time for the start of term. All around the country, responsible lenders are providing funding to enable local people to start up and run their own businesses. In Essex, an ethical loan changed Dan's fortunes to a craftsman working with wood. When he borrowed £10,000, it gave him the chance to turn his struggling start-up into a thriving business.
I like working with wood because every single piece of wood looks different, so you can draw in a lot of design, bringing different kinds of timber together, and also other materials to make something truly bespoke.
For many years, Dan had a very different career.
Just took massive marquees out to big landscapes and set them up for big weddings or venues. And at the time it was fun. It was very long hours, like 12 to 18 hours every day. It's interesting, exciting, get to hang out with all your mates. So it was seasonal work, so it was only when the weather got nice, so spring to end of summer. But yeah, come the end of the season, you start to worry because you're gonna have to find casual work where it is.
But when Dan and his partner discovered they were expecting a baby, his priorities changed. He realised he needed a steadier job, which would enable him to stay close to home. So he set up as a craftsman, producing all sorts of wooden items, from chopping boards to garden benches. The trouble was, he had absolutely no training.
I taught myself everything I know. That just involved me being in the workshop every day and making mistakes, sometimes costly, obviously, because I had to buy the timber. Some clients would look at me like, I don't know if he knows what he's doing. It's not nice to hear, but then it just gives you more drive to prove yourself and to show that, hang on, yeah, I can do it.
Dan's determination eventually paid off. His business grew, and he took out a lease on a workshop.
It was definitely weight on the shoulders, because not only I had to pay my way, I also had to pay for the workshop and learn at the same time, so obviously it's really difficult.
Dan now had the space to produce larger items, but first he needed to invest in specialist tools and machinery.
I worked out that I would need about 10,000, which is where I started approaching high street banks.
But like many other startups, he struggled to get a loan from a high street lender.
Yeah. It was disappointing and disheartening, but it also made me see that I had to work a lot harder to achieve what I wanted. So I busied myself doing that.
Determined to find the funds he needed, Dan looked elsewhere and came across Foundation East, one of around 60 community finance organisations across the UK, which help cash-strapped entrepreneurs get their ideas off the ground. Portfolio manager Becky Allen dealt with his application.
Hey Becky, you right?
Yeah, you.
How's
Good
it going?
to see you.
And you?
Just come for a catch-up.
So Foundation East's mission is to create jobs and to create businesses for local communities. We look at the business plan and we then look at the person. That is really important, to be able to look at the character of the person and see that they are passionate about what it is that they want to do, because they can then drive that business forward.
So these three machines you've seen today, the ones I bought with Foundation East loan, they are the main workhorses of the workshop.
Brilliant. You can really see that they're there benefiting you and helping you to build the business. And Dan, we could see that passion. We could see that he was passionate about his business and what he was doing and how he wanted to progress that further.
From wardrobes to garden pagodas, Dan loves creating anything, as long as it's made from wood.
This cupboard is made from solid European oak, so it's all made here in the workshop using these machines.
Lovely.
Do you want to have a look?
Yeah.
Foundation East not only loaned Dan the £10,000 he needed, they also worked with him to strengthen his business plan.
Yeah, no, it's great feeling. You know, someone's backing me, so they obviously believe in me. And yeah, better crack on.
The loan meant that Dan could buy the machinery he needed to allow his business to branch out.
I love it when jobs come into the workshop. I love gaining jobs and like getting the quote out, because usually there's a lot of design in there as well, so it's quite interesting, quite fun. Liaising with the clients, getting briefs and drawing things into 3D when they leave the workshop. It's a great feeling because, you know, they love their piece, it's going to be there forever, and it's a good feeling.
Dan built up his client list and was soon in need of further investment. He took out another loan of £15,000 with Foundation East. But shortly afterwards, the business hit a quiet patch.
Well, yeah, taking out a loan is always scary, even if you're, sure it's going to work, because it's only in your head it's going to work, and you have to make it work. Every day's a risk, because, there's no definite money coming in, there's no definite jobs coming in.
That's really impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big bit of kit, and it stays true. So, yeah, definitely a worthwhile investment.
Foundation East was understanding of his situation.
When Dan came to us with his cash flow problems, I, in the short term, offered him an interest-only repayment, which just gives the client a bit of a breathing space, makes those payments quite substantially less so that they can get through the short-term bump in the road that they've hit. And I also obviously gave him some business advice.
This support enabled Dan's startup to weather the quiet months and move to the next level, collaborating with landscape designers.
We get to go up today to see the 5 pergolas that I've already put up and to finalise details on the 6th one.
Looks really good with the paving now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is looking amazing. I love the chamfering.
The last couple of years where it's really taken off and I've got in with a lot of big designers and got my name out there and respected. Oh, they coloured a lot since I put them up.
Yeah.
Changed colour
yeah,
completely.
It does, yeah.
One of his customers, Tom, has commissioned a pergola for a client's garden.
I mean, the great thing about Dan is he's really enthusiastic about wood. You can tell he's got a genuine love of it, and it's almost stays with it right through. When he's gone, you can see it in the finished product, that sort of genuine passion. I mean, that's great that you can do such big stuff now, and yet it still has that very kind of arts and crafts look that we like so much.
No, that's it. Well, otherwise it just looks like everything else, doesn't it? It's not quite, doesn't have the same character.
We've got some big projects now that I can't wait to get my teeth stuck into, and I know Dan's going to really relish them, and it's great. It's great working with someone like that who I don't have to dictate in detail to exactly what the fixings are, that I can give him the idea and he'll run with it, and we can do such huge things now.
Today, both Dan and his business are flourishing.
Yeah, no, it feels good. Now the business is taken off, yeah, it feels good. Being my own boss is very important because I'm in control of the business, and if I have an idea, then I can act on that idea. And you also working for yourself, you get all the rewards. You also get all the stress, but then the opposite to that is a lot better than if you're just working for someone else.
In southeast London, Helen is waiting for a call from Lewisham Plus Credit Union to see if she's got a loan to buy urgently needed household appliances. Top of the list is a replacement microwave.
See? It's all cracked and burnt. It started to woo, a terrible noise, and all the light shakes like it's like lightning. And it may cause a fire.
The credit union's chief officer, Ravi, knows that for Helen, a microwave is a necessity.
Sadly, she's housebound and she has to organise her shopping in that fashion so that she, cooks meals from her freezer. So microwave, I think, in her case, is quite important.
I don't feel any pain. I just wobble a lot. And I can't manage curbs and I can't manage stairs. In fact, the stair lift was put here because of me. I insisted so much.
It's the moment of truth. Ravi's calling with the credit union's decision.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. Is it Helen?
Yes, Ravi. How are you?
I am very good. I'm pleased you recognise my voice.
Yes. Well, have you got some good news for me?
Well, I've got good and bad news, Helen.
Yes, and what's that?
Good news is that we can lend you some money.
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you very much.
But the bad news is we can't lend you as much as you wanted. You asked for 800.
Yes.
We're going to be able to let you have just under 600, so 597, thereabout.
Okay, lovely. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to have this loan. It's going to come in very useful.
All right, not a problem.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Because Helen is already repaying an existing loan with them, the credit union has decided that giving her the full £800 she applied for would be saddling her with too much debt.
Loans can be unaffordable for some people. They'll only lend them what they can afford.